Joining me now, Hollywood actor and amazing comedian, and by the way, author of the upcoming book. Let me see if I can get this right. You Can Do It. Speak Your Mind, America. Rob Schneider. Rob, good to have you on, my friend. We'll get to the book in a second. But can we just talk a little bit about what happened today outside the courthouse in New York, where Robert De Niro, of all people, shows up? And we know he's a Trump hater. We got that. But some of the things
I wasn't 100% sure how he felt about Trump, Eric. I thought he was kind of on the fence, but frothingly angry. Well, I would say any time that that people use fear-mongering or think like they always say every 4 years, this is the most important election. This may be the last election, but for him to say today that he's never going to leave. I mean, he left once. So the evidence is he did leave. I will say that we have a very good system. We have the legislature, we have the executive, judicial. It's a pretty good system. James Madison came up with it. I don't think any one man or either party, even if the Democrats win again, and I hope they don't, but if they do, we're strong enough to survive it. It's just, can we allow another 11 million people to come in and change the voting habits of this great country? And we do need immigration. I'm all for it. It just has to be legal. We do need people who want to come in and work, and thankfully, people do want to work, and we need that. However, I believe that the real threat to our system of government, and I don't think it's too good of a system to turn into a dictatorship overnight. But if they want to expand the Supreme Court, that's a big problem. I think if they want to also expand, another thing for people out there, don't be so focused on this national election. Vote local, because thankfully we are not a democracy. We are a democratic republic. So we have our states that are that you can live your life. And that's why I moved the heck out of California to move to the slightly freer state of Arizona. And I'm glad I did. And I just want people to not be so paranoid about this. And if you want to get involved with your local school board. That's the problem with this new administration, as far as if Biden, the regime of Biden, because it's not him, obviously, he's not doing anything. I like when Newsom went to go meet at the White House. He wasn't even there. So
you don't want that comparison. Yeah, you don't want to get upstaged by Newsom. Take a listen to De Niro saying, if Trump's elected, we're going to see violence everywhere. Listen.
It shows the violence of Trump and reminds us that he'll use violence against anyone who stands in the way of his megalomania and greed. But it's a coward's violence. You think Trump ever threw a punch himself or took one?
I don't know about you, but if that were to happen, Rob, I got, I'll give you 10-1 odds. I'll take Trump, and good luck with that if Robert De Niro and Trump got into a brawl.
I mean, Robert De Niro is an incredible actor, and I wish him nothing but well. But I would just say that as far as violence, if you take a look at until we have Democrats and Democratic supporters denouncing the violence that happened in June of 2020, it just doesn't hold water for me. You have to say no to all violence, not just particular violence that helps your side. And it's, unfortunately, there really is. I mean, I don't want to believe things like Trump derangement syndrome, but he does get underneath people's skin so much, and it does make people so crazy. And I feel bad, but I think we have to worry. I'm more worried about the public school system, and that if Biden stays in there, they're going to increase the money from the 16% federal that they give to 26%. And then all of a sudden, the local school boards won't have any say over what's being taught in public schools. Because you could say now, Eric, hey, if you can afford it, you take your kid out, you put them in private school. But what about the kids in public schools, what they're being taught? Because these are the people, that's the majority of kids in America. And what they're being taught is really important, that they have a real good education, and an education that isn't just turning out a bunch of ideologues, which is what we're seeing at the university level now.
You're sounding so common sense wise, Rob, almost like you're running for something. Maybe you should. Here's what Hollywood, very liberal, flaming liberal and
scared. They're all scared, Eric. I mean, I get phone calls about people agreeing with me, but they say they won't go public with it. And I feel like I should sell them all out. And here's the list right here of all the actors who said that. This is one. Be great
someone's
to do
that, someone's gonna screen grab that and see what your actual. Well, no, it's probably like pick up some bread, some almond milk, and some bread. The Rock said he's now considering voting for Trump, and this just happened last night on Piers Morgan's show. Take a listen.
What do you think of Trump?
I think I'm going to vote for him.
Really?
Yeah, in the next election. Yes, I am.
Are you ready for the blowback?
I was ready not to vote for Trump until what I saw is more than politics. I see a weaponization of our justice system. You know, Trump is the most investigated person probably in the history of the world. And they haven't been able to really get him. People might call him an but he's my
You know, first of all, I think though actors of a certain age, and I guess Eric, you'd have to quantify me in that category. There's certain to be if you have enough, if financially you're stable enough, and if you have the cojones, you're going to stand up and speak for what you believe. And I think that's been a real problem in Hollywood. Is people they're afraid of their livelihoods because truthfully in Hollywood, you know. The executives don't work on what will be a good movie, what will be my best movie, what will be something I can put my name on. They know they're going to get fired, Eric. So their decisions are what will delay my inevitable firing the longest, and that would be to not have controversial people or people that don't agree. So there's a lot of fear in it. However, I think there's something much more important, and that is for standing up for what you believe in and to want to have the same opportunities that I've been gifted, that you've been gifted, to have that for our children. And I think Robert De Niro would agree with that. And I refuse to give into this fear mongering. I mean, until the Democrats go after Tony Fauci and say, you know, you lied and that you misled us. And until they say no more wars and expanding wars and just printing endless money, I don't think that they have the best interest.
I just nailed it. I just figured it out, Rob Schneider. I just figured it out as you speak because of what happened last week. And I'm a libertarian. My problem with the Libertarian Party is it's almost become a joke with the way they're prancing around at these conventions.
I know it's a joke, Eric, because they reached out to me to run. They reached out to me to run.
It makes so much sense. What? Maybe next time?
I've never done any drag queen dancing before, so I think there's a problem with them. I think that was the line.
You don't have to do it. You just have to be okay with it. You just
the liberal. I mean, they don't know what they're doing. The libertarians, and God bless them. They've got a great name, but I don't think that they live by it, and that's why it's hard to get excited about being libertarian. We have a two-party system, and I wish we had three. I really like Robert Kennedy, and I hope he gets to become part of the debates because he's talking about things that are actually important, Eric, to the American people. And that is, I mean, you have like 65% of American people are not in the best, they're not as healthy as they can be. And I think there's only two countries in the world that have direct marketing drugs to their citizens, and that's the United States and New Zealand. And I think we have too much power with these companies when they're controlling the regulatory boards, and that is too much. And so I think whether Robert Kennedy, I don't agree with everything in the past. I mean, the climate stuff I think is totally not as important, and I don't think it's real. I think the stuff, and it's in my new book also. We talk about the climate, but I think the important thing is for people, they need a good education. They want to be safe. They don't want people running over the border. They want people to have a legal entry to come here to work, and they want not people coming in from China who illegally or from North Africa or Syria that are military age men. I think that's a concern everybody can agree with. But the most important thing is to not give in to fear mongering from either side. We have a really strong system, and we're going to be okay no matter who wins. But I really would prefer, I'd like to say anybody but Biden, because I don't even know if he knows he's running, to be perfectly honest.
I'll tell you what, you're making so much sense. Rob Schneider, 2028, somewhere, somehow, some way. Name of the book is You Can Do It. Is it okay if I say it like that? You can do it.
You have to say it like this, Eric. You can do it. Speak your mind, America.
I will get you back when the book drops in a couple of months. Rob, thank you so much.
Thanks for your time, Eric.